Talk about an innovative movie. How's it going, fellow cinephiles? This is Dominic from Film Overload, the channel where we talk about movies, pop culture, and everything in between. And in this video, I'm reviewing another retro movie. This is 1947's Dark Passage. This stars Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall once again in this thriller. I think the key word for this video will be innovative. This movie is incredibly innovative for one particular aspect, which I'll get to in just a little bit. But because of that one aspect of this film, it really elevates this film from a good film to a great film. And I really mean that. This movie is really, really solid. It's just a fun time. It's a fun watch. It's a very quick watch also. It really has a nice pace to it. This movie in total is just a really fun, great movie that I would definitely recommend. The story follows Humphrey Bogart's character, an escaped convict who is trying to prove his innocence after being falsely accused of murdering his wife. And through the eyes, quite literally, of Bogart's character, you really get this sense of suspense and all the thrills that follow it. Bogart's character goes through a lot in this movie. He meets a lot of characters, and the people that he meets, ultimately he puts them in danger. And this film really presents that thriller aspect, that really solid suspenseful feeling that you get while watching these kinds of movies. And Dark Passage is another one of these movies where you just feel tense the entire time watching this film. Now, I have seen two other Delmer Daves films, that being The Red House and the original 3:10 to Yuma, which I would love to rewatch and review on this channel down the road. But what Delmer Daves does in this movie is that he directs a really solid film. His style is really, really apparent in this film. I could definitely sense some Red House vibes kind of in this movie without the weird kind of like mystical kind of element to the film. But Dark Passage is really one of those films that Daves really exudes his style as a director, in my honest opinion. He really had command of his ship in this movie, and the result is a really solid film with some really great characters and storylines. And speaking of characters, once again, Humphrey Bogart yet again puts on another clinic of acting in this movie. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It is Humphrey Bogart. There's not much to say other than spectacular. He is great, and he's one of the greatest of all time for a reason. However, Lauren Bacall in this movie was used a lot more than I thought she was going to be, in my personal opinion. And again, her chemistry with Humphrey is fantastic. They just really have a great synergy on screen together. And I'm really hoping to watch more collaborations of these two actors together, because I really do enjoy the chemistry they have. But through the eyes of Humphrey Bogart, and again, quite literally through the eyes of Bogart's character, you really do see who he is as a character. This character is just broken and flawed and just wants his name cleared. And you can see that in his emotions, in his reactions to everything around him and everyone around him. Just this character is just really, really, really well structured. And again, through the eyes of Bogart's character, you really get the sense of what this story is all about. And paired that with Lauren Bacall and her witty yet charming nature, you really have a couple of main characters that you can root for while trying to clear Bogart's character's name. Now, on to the thing that I said was incredibly innovative, and that is the fact that the camera work in this movie is absolutely outstanding. I really, really enjoyed the POV aspect of this movie for about the first hour, so to speak. I really enjoyed the creativity and the innovativeness of this decision. It really puts the audience in Humphrey Bogart's character's shoes and really see what he goes through on a daily basis, but through his eyes. And I really thought this was a very clever tactic to really bring the audience into the story and the intricacies of each character and their arcs. So really the camera work is the unsung hero of this film and really made this film, again, go from good to great. And once again, the overall pacing of this film is really, really solid. There's not really a moment where it feels slow, and that's due to the nature of the story and the way the story is told, which really made it, once again, for a really engaging movie. There's really no point in time in this movie where it kind of slows down. The entirety of the film really goes like this, and I do appreciate that because some of these noirs and like these mysteries sometimes drag out kind of sometimes, but this movie was just boom, boom, boom. It just flows beautifully, and I really appreciated that in this movie, which once again made it for a really intense and thrilling time. But overall, I really thought that Dark Passage was a great film. I really enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed this decade of film in particularly a lot, and I really hope to watch more Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall collaborations. I really thought this movie was great. The story was solid. The writing was solid. Bogart and Bacall once again are great, and just the way this film was shot and edited and all that kind of stuff really made for a fantastic and really solid film, in my honest opinion. If you liked what you see, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, guys, and turn on the post notifications so that you guys can get notified every single time I post a video. You can follow me on Letterboxd, which is right here. I post all of my movie reviews on Letterboxd as it helps me keep track of movies that I have watched, movies that I haven't watched, and movies that I will watch. And I think you guys will benefit greatly from this app and this website if you're indeed lovers of cinema like myself. As always, guys, happy movie watching. Take care.